In the history of judo, there existed an interesting time when the rules made all the difference. This was a time between the traditional Kodokan rules and the lesser-known Kosen rules. Today, we will delve deeper into their differences and the players that would change judo forever. Join us today on Feast of Fighters as we train at the University of Tokyo Kosen Judo Club. Talk about the history, including the unfortunate event that made Masahiko Kimura start judo. And lastly, try some of the manju that was an important part of why Kimura started judo. In 1898, Technical College Judo was born. Technical colleges, also known as Kodo-san Mangaku in Japanese, were institutions focused on providing practical vocational training in various fields such as engineering, agriculture, commerce, and industry. These played a crucial role in training skilled professionals to support Japan's industrial and technological development. This formation resulted in judo clubs and the incorporation of training into the curriculum and laid the groundwork for Kosen Judo. Students came from all backgrounds and were all shapes and sizes. Big, strong, small, thin, all sizes. Kosen Judo, with its safer rule set, gave students of all sizes and physical abilities the ability to compete and showcase their talent, which made more students join the clubs. The rules were very important. Differing from the 1905 Kodokan rules, you could engage directly in hikikomi or pulling your opponent straight to the mat. There were also less restrictions on the ground, and Kosen was a team elimination event. School competition, including judo, were a big part of students' life. Schools competing together created sportsmanship and a sense of school spirit. The rules of Kosen Judo, with the elimination and winner stays on, made its competitions very exciting. This excitement and newly found school spirit made it so that Kosen Judo became popular. That brings us to one of the greatest rivalries that sparked excitement. Kanimitsu Aichue was a prominent figure in Kosen Judo across Okayama, Nagoya, and Tohoku, rivaled only by Hajime Itsukai and Tsunetani Oda. The rivalry dubbed Kanimitsu of the West and Oda of the East because of their respective schools. The rivalry was one of the greatest points in Kosen Judo history. Kanazawa was on a 7-year win streak, which every school wanted to break. The two teams would meet in the semifinals, fighting from the morning until the night. When Kanimitsu's school introduced a new technique, the Hiza Juji Gatami, or the knee bar, during the 8th National Inter-School Competition. The move was immediately disputed by Kanazawa and had to be looked at the ref, Hajime Itsugai, who later conferred with the other referees that it wasn't the banned Ashigurami. However, in a grueling final, no team won because it came out as a draw, and by process of an elimination, both competitors were eliminated. However, Kumamoto won that year, ending the Kanazawa 7-year winning streak. However, the next year, Okayama won with help of creating a new technique. Kanimitsu, with help of his students, created the Senkaku Jime, or the triangle choke. They would go on to win 8 years in a row, starting a new streak. With my gi tied tightly like a burrito, I'm ready to go train. My Jiu-Jitsu instructor, who studied Nanate Judo at Hokkaido University, pulled a few strings so that I was able to train with the students at the Kosen Club at Tokyo University. However, like all of my trips, I need to stop off and grab something to eat. I stopped off by the Tokyo Dome to go to Taco Bell to grab a small set before training. With my stomach filled with regret, I finally made it to the judo club at Hongo branch of the University of Tokyo. When I first got to the club, I didn't realize how beautiful the outside was. It was a big coincidence. That day that I chose to go to the university to train was the same day a reporter from NHK went to do research on the Kosen Judo team. When we started, we did uchikomi, and you could do ground or standing technique, whichever you want. I chose to do both because I wanted to improve my standing technique. Next, we did positional sparring, but not normal positioning sparring. Positional sparring that was more applicable to the judo. For example, passing the half guard and turtle position. A lot of the people on the team had really good half guards and really good turtle positions. Especially attacking from turtle, their attacks were on point. One girl told me that she started judo because she wanted to be stronger, but she didn't want to do normal judo, so she chose Kosen Judo because she thought it would be safer. Half of the team seemed to specialize in ground fighting. However, half of the team seemed to specialize in stand-up fighting. For example, when we did randori, one guy kept going for the same uchimata, and he got me a few times. During free sparring, a lot of the female fighters really preferred the de la hiva, and the male fighters really preferred the half guard. At the end, we went over a Q&A, and all of the students could ask the captains questions. One of the captains was nice enough to compliment my half guard and asked me a question about how to get the underhook. Unfortunately, I didn't get any footage of myself in free sparring because everybody was nice and kept asking me to spar with them. Overall, it was a really good experience and everybody was kind and accommodating. The Kosen rules seemed beneficial too because they focused on ground fighting and stand-up fighting. At the end of the night, we all took a picture together. Then came the kendo team on the mats. Then I went back home and grabbed a bento from Family Mart and some pickled vegetables. One day in beautiful Kumamoto, as a young boy, Masahiko Kimura was unexpectedly motivated to join judo. It all started back in the 4th grade during one of those big school cleanup days. You know, our school was supposed to be tidying up, but Mr. Tagawa, our teacher, was nowhere to be found. I took advantage of the situation and I sneaked off to a nearby pastry shop, devouring 4 or 5 manju treats before heading back to school. As I returned to school, chaos ensued. My classmates were lugging around our teacher's desk, and in a moment of mischievous excitement, I decided to join the fun. I leapt onto the desk with glee, only to have it collapse beneath me in a thunderous crash. I couldn't help my excitement chanting, "Banzai, banzai," as I bounced up and down. But my jubilation was short-lived. Out of nowhere, a hand grabbed me by the collar, yanking me backward. It was Mr. Tagawa, the very teacher that I thought was absent. His eyes bore into me with a terrifying glare as he scolded me with the words I won't repeat. He slapped me hard across the face, not once, but twice, before tossing me to the ground. After my ordeal, I found myself standing in the corridor, feeling humiliated. That's when I made up my mind to get back at Mr. Tagawa. I spent days plotting my revenge, digging into his background, and discovering his secret. He was a first-degree black belt in judo. That revelation sparked something inside me. If judo was powerful enough to humble Mr. Tagawa, then I wanted to learn it too, so I sought out the nearest dojo and took my first steps into the world of judo, right by my elementary school, and the rest, as they say, is history. An interesting fact about Kimura is in 1937, in preparation for the Eastern Regional Tournament, his university preparatory school developed the Yoko Senkaku Jime for a Kosen rules match. Today we will go on a manju quest, eating some of the manju that Kimura might have eaten when he was in school. At Kumamoto-kan in Ginza, they have a variety of Kumamoto products. Walking through the door, you are greeted by a happy and jubilant Kumaman waving his arms. I was expecting to find nothing but found these chestnut manju from Kumamoto. However, it's not just manju. They have a lot of variety of sweets from Kumamoto. And more than that, they have a restaurant on the second floor. So I said, what the heck? Let's try some traditional Kumamoto-style food. The restaurant had specialties like deep-fried tofu, even horse meat, but I tried the Kumamoto-style ramen. As you go into the restaurant, you are engulfed by Kumamon. He's everywhere, even on the chopsticks. But I don't mind. It's a cute monster. The Kumamoto-style ramen is known for two things. One is that it has a lot of garlic, and the second is that it's lighter than most ramen. Not planning any interactions, I loaded up on the garlic. The ramen was light and delicious, but we weren't here to eat ramen. We were here to find sweets. In honor of Kimura, we bought a steamed bun, chewy and delicious at the counter, and a pancake filled with light cream that was also delicious. Manju nestled like a fragile kitten in my backpack. We searched for more. As I was walking along, I stumbled upon this taiyaki shop, which happened to have fried manju. The sweet selection was nice, and the staff was nice enough to laugh at one of my jokes. I'm not exaggerating in saying this was the best manju I've ever had. Kimura would be proud. It was lightly sweetened and crispy. Drunk on a little sugar and also my sense of power, I went home to try the famed chestnut manju. As I heated it up, it was the perfect end of my day. It was not too sweet, bready, but not too heavy. Please join us next time on Feast of Fighters.